So I know the word is already out there about what happened at the United Center at Lil Durk's concert. The shooting thing was a false alarm, but somebody got stabbed over there, man, and people were running out with merchandise, $100,000 worth of merchandise. And I told you guys before, man, I used to support the drill music. I used to promote artists and help them, with the drill music and stuff like that, man. But I turned my back on drill music, man, because the stuff is so full of negative energy, and it just attracts it everywhere it goes, man. The concerts, the shows, people getting shot, killed, stabbed, robberies happening, like just all kinds of crazy stuff going on there, man. It's just negative energy, period. So moving on to the news of this weekend, man. So we had a pretty big story because the mayor appointed a new head of police. Okay, the mayor Brandon Johnson. They're reporting he brought out his pick on Monday afternoon for the next leader of the Chicago Police Department, and it's a veteran officer and a lifelong South Sider named Larry Snelling. So I wish Larry Snelling all the best. I give, I don't know anything about this guy, so I can't say, what his background is or anything like that. But he is from Chicago, and he does, know the city. So he's from Inglewood, I believe. I think he's from Inglewood. So hopefully he'll be able to, implement some strategies that'll help to at least reduce the violence. Chicago, I don't know if it can ever have the violence totally like reduced to nothing, but uh, policing strategies do have an effect, I think. You guys let me know what you think, though, in the comment section, man, about what strategies you think the police department should take during his time as police chief. But yeah, I wish him all the best. Johnson was saying he can boost morale and implement constitutionally driven reforms that will ultimately create a safer Chicago. He said it puts him in a class all by himself. He said, "Thank you, Chief Snelling, for your willingness to accept this challenge. Chief of Police of CPD is a very difficult job. It might be the most difficult job, like in not only in the city but maybe in the country, because I mean you're basically trying to control this wild like bucking bronco that is Chicago's gang problem. We've got between 100 and 200,000 gang members in this city. It's the gang capital of the United States, and so you've got all these different conflicts to try and mediate and mitigate. It's just an overwhelming task, and the thing can easily and quickly get out of control. And once that snowball gets rolling downhill, trying to stop it is almost impossible, man. So I mean, things can quickly get really bad. So I hope that he's able to do it, man. But anyways, this was a really sad story, man. There was an 18-year-old young man who was killed just steps away from a medical center. The U of C Medical Center, is on the south side. This 18-year-old Tyshawn, he was killed just a few feet away from this medical center, and his girlfriend had just been killed a few months ago, man. And from all appearances, this kid, I don't think had anything going on. I don't think he was in the streets or anything like that. He was. Police said that it started with a fight between a group of women. So his mother, Tyshawn's mother, said that he was trying to break it up when shots were fired. And this again, man, I've said this a million times. This is how my homie Fabian was killed. The stuff with guys getting involved, with females and other guys and stuff like that. This is almost a more dangerous thing than the gang stuff. Matter of fact, I'll say that it is a more dangerous thing than the gang stuff because this involves everybody. Like it's not just gang. Like this can get anybody killed, and it's getting people killed all over the place. Like you saw the young man with his mom. He almost got locked up for murder. The young man with his mom in the restaurant. Just situations where females are getting into it with guys, and I'm not pointing the finger at females and saying that it's women's fault or anything like that, but just this type of drama, it just creates these situations where people are always getting killed. And his mom said it was really sad, man. She said, "I just want to hug my baby. I want to hold my baby right now. I want to squeeze my baby. I want to touch him." So her son's promise to finish his senior year at Inglewood STEM High School will never be fulfilled. So that's a high school where I never worked, so I don't know what it's like, Inglewood STEM. But I can tell you this: most of the guys who were like hardcore gangbangers did not finish high school at the high schools where I worked. Like if you finished high school, like if you graduated from high school, you probably were not one of the guys who was with it. Now were exceptions to that. Like I'm not going to say that was true across the board. I'm just saying the odds. If he finished high school, the odds are he was not on that. I didn't know this kid. I didn't know anything about him. So I'm just saying, from his resume on paper, if he finished high school in Chicago, that's typically an indication that he was not in the streets. Um, again, at some of the high schools I worked, there were a few exceptions to that though. But anyways, his mom said he was just going to go back to school on point because he had lost his girlfriend in March. So he was going back to school to do it for her and me. See, and that's the type of thing you do for somebody who's deceased, man. You know, he wasn't turning up for his girlfriend and trying to kill somebody. He was trying to do something right for her, man. Finish school, and he's one of four people who police said were shot over at 57th and Payne in Washington Park on Sunday night. And again, this was just a little bit away from the hospital. The mom said, "My heart is broken. I mean, torn. My baby is gone." Investigators said that it started as a fight between a group of women and a male offender pulled out a gun and started firing. He said, I just don't know. It was supposed to have been a group of kids fighting. They were supposed to be fighting. My son was supposed to have been in a car. They said that he got out of the car. I guess he was trying to break up the fight. I guess the boy just started shooting. So Tyshawn and the other three victims, a 16-year-old boy, another 18-year-old man, and a 53-year-old man, were able to make it to the University of Chicago Medical Center right across the street, where he died overnight. The oldest victim remains in critical condition, and she said, "My son did not do nothing to you. Just please turn yourself in. He did not deserve this." Tyshawn's sudden murder came just a few months after his family says his girlfriend, an 18-year-old named Deshani, if I'm pronouncing her name right, was shot and killed inside of a relative's Bronzeville apartment. So both him and his girlfriend, okay, they're both gone. And I don't know if she had graduated. The pictures I saw of her, she was wearing a graduation uniform, but that might have been from junior high. But the mom said, "I'm hurt. It's something that I can never get back, my firstborn." So police said the shooter was able to run away. As of now, nobody has been arrested. So there was a crowd of people there, man. So somebody, if you saw the guy, do the right thing. Because, I mean, this kid, they punched the wrong clock on this kid, man. It wasn't supposed to happen like this, Dan. This was a relatively quiet weekend overall. There were only 3 people killed and 17 shot. And this is the report from when his girlfriend was killed. They said a Chicago mother has an emotional plea after her teenage daughter was killed in a shooting. Deshani died after spending days in the hospital following a shooting in Bronzeville. He said the 18-year-old was a senior at Inglewood High School. She was getting ready for her upcoming prom and graduation. Her mother said that she was involved in her community, performing for the past 6 years at the Bud Billiken Parade. Now her mother said she just wants some answers and someone to come forward. Police said no arrests have been made in the shooting that took her life, and as far as I know, there have not been any arrests in that case. Deshani not only fought for days in the hospital, but also turned 18 while she was in the hospital. They celebrated it while she was like hanging on for dear life. It wasn't long ago her mom said that they were dancing and looking forward to their birthdays happening right around the same time. She said, "I didn't know that was going to be my last dance. That was my last dance. Y'all killed my baby." So yeah, let's get some answers for these 2 young people. Anyways, man, the camera came and it didn't work, so I had to send it back. So I'm still looking for another one. I got another phone, so I'm going to try with this other phone and see how the image is on the new phone, man. But yeah, hopefully I'll be getting a steadier image for you guys soon when I do the walkthroughs of the neighborhoods. But anyways, man, be safe out there, guys. Stay away from them drill concerts, man. And stay away from drama where you got people fighting. You know what I'm saying? Large groups of people fighting. Because somebody always, in Chicago, man, somebody always just pulls out a gun and starts blowing every time there's a fight. And, turns like a small issue into a death. Your boy Winnie Report. I'm out.